Ukraine's defense ministry says that Russian ally Belarus is preparing to send troops into Ukraine via its northern border, a move denied by Alexander Lukashenko. In support of Ukraine, the Belarusian opposition leader has launched an anti-war movement in her country. And joining me now from Vilnius is Sviatlana Tsikhanouskaya. Sviatlana Tsikhanouskaya, thank you so much for joining us on Euronews. Now, as the world watches President Putin invade Ukraine, do you fear that he plans to do the same in Belarus?
For sure, Putin looks at Belarus as the part of Russia, but we are a separate country, independent country, and we don't want to lose this independence, of course. And now Putin has Lukashenko as his ally, as his accomplice. But it seems to us that Lukashenko is not controlling the situation anymore. So we also under the threat of some kind of Russian occupation. But people in Belarus cherish their independence and will fight for it.
Yeah, so what about the people there in Belarus? I mean, what do they want when it does appear that Lukashenko is standing shoulder to shoulder with Putin? You say that they don't want this, that there could be resistance. What would that look like?
Our task, first of all, now is to avoid Belarusian troops enter Ukraine, because all the Belarusians don't want this war. We have to divide regime of Lukashenko and Belarusian people, and now we are trying to help Ukraine in different ways. So we work with informational front. We spread the truth in Belarus and fight propaganda, to interfere with information war waged by dictators. Also, we mobilize mothers to prevent their sons, brothers, and husbands from being sent to fight against the Ukrainians. They have to put pressure on the authorities and military registration and officers to demand information about the location of their men to stop sending them to the front. Also, we do everything to weaken the regime and prevent the regime from waging war. We show disobedience, we prepare strike, we disable equipment and slow down its work.
Yes, let me pick you up on that, if I may, because you've spoken about essentially an info war, about spreading information to inform people. But if the worst comes to the worst, and I know that you've launched an anti-war movement, would you be talking potentially about an armed resistance?
So when we are talking about anti-war, it means that this anti-Ukrainian war. And we have to explain people that we will not allow this war happen in Belarus. But we have such a situation when Lukashenko accomplice to Russia, and now nobody knows what could happen. And Belarusian people are, I hope, ready to defend our soil, our land from Kremlin.
Let me ask you about the West then, because the West's attention is very much fixed on Ukraine at the moment and Russia, and we've seen those sanctions from the European Union on Russia, also on Belarus. But I want to ask you, do they go far enough? And is the West's attention fixed enough on this situation that's occurring now in Belarus?
Of course, world attention is focused on Ukraine now, and it's understandable, but it's important not to forget about Belarus as well. And Lukashenko shares all the responsibilities for this war, and he has to feel the consequences. So I'm asking our international partners to impose as much sanctions as possible on Lukashenko as well, to deprive him of resources, to split elites. It's very important to be focused on Belarus as well.
All right, Sviatlana Tsikhanouskaya, leader of the Belarusian pro-democratic opposition in exile. Good to talk to you. Thank you.